Hey there, it's Jerome. On this episode, two gay guys talk about what it takes to build a business, the values that you bring into it, and the weird circumstances that inevitably develop as you begin to see a little success. I think you'll like it. Our guest is hilarious, and I was laughing for basically the entire time. Regarding the TV show Bottomless Coffee with Jerome, thank you for all of your continued support. Our website, bottomlesscoffeeshow.com, is seeing a lot of traffic, which is super exciting. You can find all the streamable episodes of the show and the podcast there. That address again, it's bottomlesscoffeeshow.com. Okay, let's get to the conversation. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Bottomless Coffee. And on this episode, we are going to talk business because it is hard, y'all, to start this podcast and this show and to find a way to share all of the work that is going into it while also making it look easy and being graceful and making it seem effortless. And so I had the really good fortune to have Cayce our guest today, reach out to me. And so as I was doing research, I was like, oh, you know what's up. You understand the work that goes into this. And so we are going to have a nuts and bolts kind of conversation about how Cayce built his businesses and his series and his podcast. And I'm gonna give you the formal introduction. Cayce is an actor / producer gone homesteader, and we will also explore that a little bit. After the success of his family's online reality series, Being Cayce, they decided to buy a farm in Georgia and go back to their roots. Multi-business owner Cayce runs the home decor, organic bath products, and farmers market side of their now family business. Welcome, Cayce. How are you?
Hello. How are you? How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
I am receiving that positive energy you are putting out. Yes.
Yes, I'm flowing it through the microphone, baby. Flowing it through the microphone.
I love it. So can you walk us through your businesses? Because that list was getting long as I was reading it. I was like, oh, Cayce's busy. So I guess I should also start with gratitude. Thank you for taking a little bit of time to sit down behind the mic today because you clearly have things to do.
Hey, listen, if you're not busy, you're not doing something right.
Yep.
So I guess I would say that I run those part of the businesses because I'm the bossy one out of the family. So they kind of all dictate and say, hey, okay, if Cayce's going to be like super bossy person to work with and he's going to run everything.
Sure.
And so that's what I do.
Yeah.
But our business started off with our family reality show, as you mentioned, and we went through 3 seasons and went into the homesteading side of buying a farm. Mm-hmm. And we do our farm, besides producing what you would think from a farm, vegetables, plants, jams. We also do farmhouse decor and organic candles, soaps, and bath bombs.
Wonderful.
So I run most of that and the social media side of our business, Ormsby Farms.
Okay, so it's like farm to bath if you have a candle in your bathroom. That's beautiful.
Absolutely. Because, everybody thinks that the farmhouse chic is big right now. So I was like, I'm going to hop on this train and ride it for money.
Yeah.
So
now, okay, I was not able to stream an episode of your show before this conversation. So can you tell us a little bit about the show?
Well, it started off about 4 years ago when we started recording it. My niece was like, Auntie Cayce, I was an actor before this.
Okay.
So I was an actor by trade. I did a couple television shows and then kind of hit like a plateau of where I was auditioning and just wasn't really getting anything. And my niece was like, oh, you need to be like the Kardashians and have your own show. I said, I don't do reality.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. Not doing it. And so it got even more dead auditioning for stuff. Yeah. And I was like, okay, let me try this out. And YouTube was pretty big at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, we'll record 3 episodes. And if nobody watches it, we'll be done. I don't have to like, answer too many questions of
Sure.
why it didn't do well. I can, wash my hands and be done with it. So we did 3 episodes, and it was just me and my mom and my best friend, who I call Sis,
Okay.
Ruby, and we recorded the 3 episodes very independently, like from iPhones and a little tripod that we got from Walmart. And it came out in 2018, October of 2018, and our first episode aired to 1,700 viewers, which we were like, okay. I mean, that's not Kardashian level, but it's okay. And then by episode 3, we aired at 5,000.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, something's catching on. So we said, okay, we'll finish a season. We'll do a season. We'll do 12 episodes.
Okay.
And so we did episode 4, 5, and 6. And just we're having fun still, really independently shooting it. And a producer reached out to us and said, your family's hysterical. Y'all are like the fat Kardashians. We really enjoy y'all. So I was like, okay. My niece is talking about the Kardashians. We may be the fat Kardashians. It's okay.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
still getting somebody asking us. So we signed on with them and finished out the season. And our season finale of season 1 was 27,000 views. So I was like, okay, something's catching on. So right after that, me and my mom went on a 11-day road trip.
Okay.
And the producer said, record the whole entire time.
Oh.
I was like, oh my God. Okay. So we did. And they turned it into a series called Being Cayce Roadside Assistance.
Okay.
And that aired in a 5-part series on YouTube as well. To maybe about 15,000, not many views on that one. But season 2 came back for Being Cayce, and having a producer, spoiler alert, is when they start really faking reality show. They say, okay, Cayce, we want you to do this. They don't tell you word for word, but they say, okay, this is what we want to come across in this episode.
Huh.
And that's when it started getting more like a job than having fun.
Sure.
But we had 375,000 views in the second season.
Okay.
And we're nominated for 4 Webby Awards. So I was like, okay, cool. And then COVID hit. And so after we had finally gotten on this like swing of figuring out YouTube reality, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Now everybody's made to be locked down and stay in their house.
Yep.
And so we shot the 3rd season completely off of digital web cameras. So a company sent all the cast a webcam.
Those were hard to come by. I remember.
They were.
Yes.
They were. And these ones, they should have kept them.
No.
But we learned how to use them, and we had to send all of our footage into our producers, and then they took the 7 different storylines and put it together.
Okay.
And that's how we ended the 3rd season.
Sure.
And it was fun. And then season 2, my mom mentioned about wanting to buy farmland.
Yeah.
And that's how the whole business got started. It was from the reality show. So it was kind of a win-win situation on both ends.
Okay. So thank you for giving us the whole timeline. Because now we can kind of explore it a little bit. Because I kind of see the business starting, at least from what you told me, the business was starting when you were an actor. And that particular business was hitting a plateau, as you said. And then it kind of sounds like you were like, well, I'm going to pivot and try something different. But you didn't have that whole structure around it like you do now. You're like, I'm just going to give it a go. And we're going to see. And I think one thing that a lot of people miss is that thing that you mentioned, like it was only 3 episodes. And for a lot of people, it doesn't work out. But they're always trying something, you know?
Right.
Did you happen to try anything between being an actor and doing this series? Or was it like first try and you nailed it? Or were there other like secret failed YouTube series you didn't tell us about, Cayce?
Oh no, I would definitely say that, and that's a great point. I mean, when starting a business, nothing unless you're super super lucky, and it's a very small percentage
Or
of
rich.
people that start one thing and it's a success.
Yeah.
Especially in the entertainment world.
Yes.
No, I mean everybody when they think entertainment, they think, okay, I'm just going to turn on my favorite Amazon Prime show. And it just happened overnight for these actors. It doesn't happen that way. Again, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of no's to get that one yes. And there was a lot of no's in my acting that is actually documented on Being Cayce of shows when I was writing projects, I was pitching projects to television networks, and getting a lot of, yeah, it's cute, but no, or yeah, it's a really nice premise, but no. And so you gotta just pick yourself back up and say, okay, one of them's gonna stick.
Yeah.
If you can throw a ton of oranges at a window,
Yeah.
either one's gonna break the window or one's gonna stick to the window. So throw as many as you can.
Throw the oranges, people.
Right.
I appreciate that you went with oranges as the thing to throw. I also heard that you didn't find success alone. Like you took someone's suggestion. Someone was like, this is an opportunity for you, Cayce, that I'm seeing. And you didn't dismiss it because the person was young or because it was, not like the nicest thing. The way you described it, I'm like, that's funny, but I don't know if I want someone saying that to me.
I was living for it. Actually, the person that called us took time and made a photo and took the Kardashians promo picture and then copy and pasted our faces on it.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you privately. It's actually very funny. I don't get my feelings hurt easily, and I didn't there either.
Good. I mean, and you have to have thick skin, right?
Absolutely.
And see the opportunities when they come. And I really love that you brought your family and your friends along with you.
Reluctantly.
Oh, really?
Reluctantly, Mr. Evans. Okay,
let that be on the record.
Yes. Sign my name to it.
Well, they are grateful for it now.
They are.
I'm sure.
Some of them even were like, this is just not my thing. And now a camera comes on and they're posing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Not your thing.
You discovered it. It's your thing now. You grew into it. It's an acquired thing.
Right. Acquired taste.
Okay, but I really appreciate that you didn't do it alone. And at any point, it kind of sounds like you could have made another pivot. You know what I mean? Because now you've built something that's pretty successful, including this homesteading business, and you're still including people in it. And I think that's really wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, no, one thing that I've learned, especially from social media, is social media is a gold mine. And if I can pitch social media to anybody to start a business, is to learn social media, because it will make you money.
Okay.
It will make you money. It's not just a myth.
Yeah.
Now, am I saying that you'll be a multimillionaire from working social media? No. But with marketing and the SEOs the way it is, starting your business, learn social media and marketing first, and then take it and use it to your advantage, which is what we did with the homestead.
Okay, but was it primarily with the homestead that you leveraged social media, or were you also leveraging social media for the show as well?
Well, we had somewhat of a following from the show.
Well, not in the very beginning. So when you first did those 3 episodes, were you leveraging social media to promote those?
And at the time I had not done, TikTok was not around.
Right.
Well, it probably was, but I didn't really know how to use it. But I was definitely using Facebook as much as I could to promote. I mean, if you have 500 friends, put it out there, because if they watch it, that's 500 views right there. And that only builds your SEOs on YouTube to where the show will then be suggested in other people's query or library when they search something that is similar to your show.
See, I feel like some people do things and they're amazing, and then they're afraid to share this really, in my mind, awesome thing that they've done Maybe because there's like a tiny imperfection in it. They're like,
Right.
oh, it's perfect except for that one thing. And so they're like, oh, I'll take it to my grave. No one will ever know about it.
And that's usually the stuff that does so well. Like
Yeah.
people don't want perfection.
Yeah.
And if we haven't learned anything over this past year, 2 years of what we've gone through, perfection doesn't sell online.
That's true.
The craziness, the crazier you are, the louder you are, the more out there. People need a laugh. People need something to laugh at or bring their spirits up. And
Yeah.
that is what gets the views. That is what gets the followers, is authenticity and a little bit of humor thrown in there too. Nobody's perfect.
Oh, that's beautiful. No one is perfect. And is that one of the things that comes through in your show, like, and in your business? Like, what are the values that you bring in?
Well, for the show, again, towards the end, it did get very produced.
Oh, so is it over? Did you finish?
Okay, so
You don't have to make any big announcements.
no. So basically, when we finished season 3, which was summer of 2020,
Okay.
we finished recording. We were pulling it off of YouTube, and we were going to go to Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So that was another business step that we were going to take. Like, okay, now it's time to start making money instead of the cents on the dollar that YouTube pays.
Yeah.
No shade. Still love me some YouTube, but it is cents on the dollar. And we had some contractual issues with Cayce because Cayce thought they were bigger than their britches.
Oop.
After 3 seasons. And so we're at a standstill right now.
Okay.
On season 4. So that is where I'll leave it.
Okay.
No big announcement, but there will be another season. Just we don't know who's going to be on it.
Fair. That's legit. And I will be looking on social media for that announcement when the time comes, because you're painting like a really intriguing picture. There's like, it's like,
well, we actually did some watch-a-thons on our YouTube channel. So season 1, Roadside Assistance, and 2 premieres Tuesday. So they'll be on, the full seasons will be on our YouTube channel.
okay, they're going to be on YouTube and not on Amazon Prime quite yet.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Okay.
Not quite yet.
So you've not even alluded to, you've spoken really candidly about like several different business decisions that you've had to make along this journey. And I wonder if you found that some of them were like easy at the time, or if some of them were more difficult at the time. And did any tough decisions become easier, like as you got more established? Like for instance, you drug people kicking and screaming into this world you've created, and now you've mentioned some people have become a little bit bigger than their britches. And so I'm thinking that the negotiations that took place at the very beginning to get people, you know, onto the iPhone camera that you were using or what have you in the first place, that's changed over time. And I wonder if anything else like that has changed.
It was, for season 1, it was pretty easy, especially to get Ruby on board. I told her that we were shooting something fun and that I had tequila, and she was there. So she was not the hard one to get on board.
Yeah.
It was actually my family, because my family is not big into the entertainment industry. They've never wanted to be. And they did it solely to support me. And they were like, okay, if we're going to support you, we'll do it. But just know we're not crazy about it.
Yeah.
Like my mother, at first she was like, oh, I don't know. I'm not really big into the TV thing. And then she became a fan favorite over the first 2 seasons. And where people would leave comments, oh, I love Mom Susan. I call her Mom. I'm like, see, you actually are a celebrity. And she's like, I really don't enjoy doing it. I was like, okay, noted. Okay.
Well, at least she's able to be honest with you about what she likes. And what she doesn't like. Yeah.
And she's actually, it's extremely funny. I mean, I don't think she knows how funny she is until the cameras turn on.
Yeah.
And then she sometimes gets me out of character because I'm trying so hard not to laugh.
This is wonderful. I know I know I'm really loving this conversation because I'm smiling so big that my mouth like kind of hurts. But let's take like a super quick coffee break and come back. And I want to revisit that question on values that you bring into your business,
Sure.
into the show, because I'm interested. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Hey everyone, we are back with Bottomless Coffee. I am your host, Jerome, and we are with our wonderful guest, Cayce Guest of Ormsby Farms and being Cayce. And now we're going to talk a little bit more about that transition from the show, being Cayce, to the homestead, Ormsby Farms. And then I really want to get into like the values that you bring into the business and how those show up and are reflected. But like, I feel as though in the beginning, we may have skipped over a little bit that like a TV show and a homestead are not the same kind of business. And so there's probably a lot of work that goes into that transition.
Right. And most people are like, wait, you do what?
Yeah.
Now? You do what? And you know, it started off when we talked about it on season 2 of having a farm as just kind of like a vacation spot that our family to go to. And when COVID hit, the learning and the prepping that we had done to move to a farm came into fruition at that moment, because self-sustainability is so important. And we learned that during our lockdown of, you know, being self-reliant, having to be self-reliant. And that's when I literally thought of taking the business that we had created with being Cayce and pushing it into our homesteading style of living, which is how we got to the point where we are now. And I did as much studying, because I mean, I was no gardener, no farmer by trade, anything from the farthest.
Sure. Like, from an actor to a farmer, yes.
Right. And a lot of my homesteading friends now joke and say, if you remember the Lindsay Lohan version of Parent Trap, where the fiance, she was clapping those sticks together to get the bear away.
Oh my gosh.
That was going to be me on the farm.
That's a deep reference. Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying? So it was figuring out how to now rebrand our brand, being Cayce, into this homesteading family that none of us knew anything about.
Wow.
And the 4 of us was myself, my mother, my brother Chris, and his girlfriend Tara. And we were definitely not the image of what people would think of homesteading or farmers. But we had such a passion for it that we didn't know was there until we started jumping into it, to where I was ready to leave the entertainment and solely focus on planting tomato plants.
Cool.
And that makes sense. So yeah, that's the transition over to that, was during COVID, really.
I think you are really spot on. In that, because of COVID, a lot of people realize that a lot of our systems, particularly in the United States, are like a lot more fragile than we thought they were.
Yep.
And what do you mean I can't have the food I want when I want it and whatever color it is that I want? Like that, that is like the typical, I would say, American mindset. And it's definitely somewhat atypical to be like, yeah, I grow and produce my own food. Like if I want something, for tomato sauce, then I've got to be ready to have planted the tomatoes so far ahead of time and in a certain quantity. And then they have to be harvested and like canned, jarred. I don't know.
It truly is like a science too, really. Like everything you're saying is so true, because when we got into this, I have a lot of homesteading friends now, and they have taught that it's really like a mathematical equation that goes into making sure that your family is prepared for the year. Yeah. Because it's not that long ago that our ancestors were doing the same thing that we're doing now, of growing the food that you eat. If you didn't grow it, guess what, girl? You didn't eat it. You didn't have no potatoes in that garden. Guess what? No French fries.
Yeah.
So it was learning to do what our ancestors did a century or so ago
Mm-hmm.
to be self-reliant on your land, and not just food, but knowing organic bath products with soaps and stuff. You know, back in the day, there wasn't a Dollar Tree that you could go and grab some Dial soap
Yeah.
in multiple different scents unless you made it. So
So you're making your own soaps
we
at
do, yeah,
Ormsby Farms.
we do our own soaps, candles, and we do beard balm and bath bombs, all organic from virgin coconut oil.
Okay, so yeah, what's the process of getting to a bar of soap? Like, where does it start in your mind?
Um, Basically, for us, when we started it, it is all about the scent first.
Okay.
And we do all organic essential oils in our products. So basically, we are sent certain blends of essential oils, and we sit down as a family and we fight over who likes the best scent. And it really is just that. It's like, oh, I really like this one. And then maybe my brothers are, oh, no, I don't like that.
Okay.
You don't like this one? What? What? So we go back and forth, and then we usually come out with a couple scents. And then the process of making soap is very simple.
Huh.
And I've actually done how-to videos on YouTube,
Oh,
the transition over to that on how to, but it's the waiting process. It's usually about 4 to 6 weeks that you want to cure the soap before they're ready. But it's good to know what's going on in your body. The same way when
Yes.
you know people are eating healthier, you want to know what you're consuming.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with soaps, and it's the same thing with candles. Any products, you need to know what's going on to your body, yeah? Because all these different stuff that you can't pronounce now, if you read the labels, I don't want that on my. If I can't pronounce it, I don't want it on my body.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is a lot of things sometimes.
That's so
As you
interesting
can tell,
that
I
you
stumble
say
over
that.
my words.
My husband likes to bake, and a lot of times he'll like make a cake or make cookies, and I'll like watch him, and I'll be like, oh, I'm not going to eat that because I know what's gone into it. But if we go to
Right.
the store, I'm like, I'll have 6 of these and a little bit of these, and oh, this croissant looks really good. And
It's so true,
it
though.
makes such a
It's
difference because they probably have more of that bad stuff in the store than what my husband's doing.
oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, and so I love that you're doing this, and I we'll have to put links up to the store and to your products and those how-to videos as well
That'd
up
be
on the
wonderful.
website.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. We love the bath products. I like literally all of us, all 4 of us, and we're all different skin types, different ages. Like myself, I am, let's say, mid 30s.
Okay.
Skin type. Then you got my mother, who's a 60-year-old woman. My brother, he's more of an oily skin kind of person, and his girlfriend is African American. So you got multiple different skin types that were able to use this one product, which was used years ago.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays with products, you're like, well, I've got to test it out to make sure it's good on my skin.
Right.
That's because they do so many additives to
Right.
any types of products that most of the time it's just like dried, dehydrated, crumbled plastic that they're putting into these soaps, they're putting into shampoos, into certain lotions. If it don't say organic, I always say if you can't put it on your tongue, you shouldn't put it on your body. Yeah.
That's legit.
So, I mean, coconut oil you can cook with. So, okay, I'll put it on my body.
Yeah.
Olive oil is another one that's really good for sensitive skin. I can put it on my tongue, so I'll put it on my body. Yeah. Cocoa butter, same thing.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to preach to me about cocoa butter. I know that one.
Did you know you could actually cook with it, though?
Oh, I did not.
Yes. Certain organic cocoa butters you
Really?
can for desserts. It's going to have more of a cacao kind of flavor to it, more of
Sure.
that chocolate flavor, I guess you
Sure.
would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, when in need, throw it in a little frying pan.
Oh
throw
my
some donuts
gosh.
on there.
Now, wait, okay, have you done a YouTube video of you cooking with cocoa butter?
I have not, no, because
Okay.
it is very expensive.
Oh.
And when we put it into our products, the products are very expensive because of that.
Sure.
So, no, ma'am. She is used for lotions. If I see it anywhere in any of my family's kitchen, they write me a check.
Okay.
At that moment.
You are the boss. I could tell.
I'm telling you, I'm the bossy one.
Yeah. And
I'm
it
the
sounds like you
bossy one,
mind
and
the
I'm
money
okay.
as well. Like you're making sure that it's coming in from the right place. Like you were mentioning the one platform is cents on the dollar, and that doesn't make sense to you. And so you know you have to make the switch. I really appreciate that mindset because those are the decisions that people aren't gonna really know about. Like those don't make
Right.
good Instagram vids or whatever.
And you know what's crazy is these Instagram models that we watch, and we're like, oh, they probably make money, but they look just dumb as dirt. They're really not.
Yeah.
A lot of these Instagram models, they may look dumb as dirt, but they are smart business people because it is not easy
Mm-hmm.
to make money on Instagram.
Yeah.
It can be done, but it takes a lot of no's, as we were
Yeah.
saying before, and a lot of a creative mindset of fresh way of putting stuff out there. So
Yeah.
um, you have to, if you want to run a business, you have to learn all these different steps. You know, learn your Facebook, learn your Instagram, learn your TikTok. Heaven forbid we haven't gotten there yet. I think I'm too old for the TikTok.
Okay. I was
Um,
about to ask you for some tips because
no, ma'am, I don't do TikToks. I tried one time. I
okay.
downloaded it and it went super south, super fast. And I was like, I ended up deleting the app that same day. So I couldn't figure it out.
I wasn't super into it, but they say that its algorithm will eventually get you. And
Mhm.
it did just the other day for the first time. And it's just some guy who's like tells stories of like his time as a server and his dating or whatever. And I'm like, oh, these little like 1-2 minute stories are like super cute. And then I look up and I'm late for work. I was like, how did that happen? How did I lose like 10 minutes without even realizing it? So
Right.
yeah.
I I mean, I love watching TikToks,
Yeah. Oh,
but
okay.
creating it, I'll pass.
You can hire someone.
Right, right. Hire like a 20-year-old.
I
I don't know.
mean, do what you gotta do. Do what you
Right.
gotta do. Well, okay. My cup is getting a little bit low. Why don't we take one more coffee break and then we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Okay, we are back with the fascinating Cayce guest. I am so funny. I was like, I did not plan on leaving this conversation like with another YouTube series to watch, but I am so interested. And sounds like I also have some candles to buy and maybe some soaps. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, and I can like see on YouTube how you made the soaps, and that's I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be a little adventure for me, and I'm super into it. Uh, if for speaking of YouTube and where we can see those videos and the like how do we find you on the social medias?
So we are Ormsby Farms, ORMSBYFARMS on all social. So if
Okay,
you Google that, all of it pulls up. And all of our how-tos and our reality show is all on our YouTube channel now. Um,
wonderful.
but if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, there's always links to the YouTubes.
Okay, and then how do I buy the stuff?
All of our products are sold on Etsy. So we are an Etsy shop.
Okay.
Um, as a business, we did try other platforms of selling, such as Amazon and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Nothing felt right
Hmm.
until Etsy. So our Etsy page is always linked in our bio boxes on our social media.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on a second, because there's this phrase "felt right," didn't feel right. Like, what is it about Etsy that feels so right to you? And then maybe like a little bit about what felt off on those different platforms, because that's another business decision.
Sure, sure. Yeah, when we went into wanting to sell our products, we did a couple different options. We were selling in person at farmers markets,
Oh,
which went well. We were selling originally on Etsy and sold on Amazon.
okay.
Um, no bad talk to Amazon. It is a fabulous company for consumers, for small businesses. It is not.
Hmm.
There are many YouTube videos that you can go and watch. Um, for us as a business, we did not feel appreciated or helped when we needed help from Amazon, and we needed something a little bit more um, customer service, reliable.
Sure.
And we got that with Etsy. Yeah.
Okay.
And Etsy didn't start out super fabulous either. Again, it goes back to knowing your SEOs and your marketing and that kind of stuff. But once it clicks, and they are really good for small business handmade products, which is what our stuff is.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's really good. It's really good because I feel as though a lot of people might be afraid to experiment with another platform. Like, I feel like you put a little money into it and you marketed it a little bit, and then you're like, oh no, this isn't right for me. It gets a tough decision, or it can feel like a tough decision to pivot and go in a different direction. But I guess, given what we talked about today and the number of pivots that you've made in your career, that might not have been such a big one.
You know, I'm a pivoter.
Yes.
I'm a pivoter. But no, it actually, that part was probably the hardest of all the pivots. Because when you're starting off of a business and stuff doesn't work out where platforms that you're selling or that you're promoting, it's very disheartening.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh God, am I doing the right thing? Is this really what I want to be doing? Am I really actually good at this? And that was the hardest part, was choosing the platforms, because as you said, it's money. It's not just little money. It's a good amount of money that you're putting in to send off products or whatever you do to a business. And for it not to work out, it sucks. It just kind of sucks. So that was the hardest of all the pivots. We did a lot of pivots, but that was the hardest of the pivots.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to your Etsy store. I'm gonna go shopping. Can you tell me, as we close, what's the product for me, or maybe what's your most popular product?
Our most popular product, or I'll say this, our most popular scent, because all of our products come in the variety of scents. So our candles, our bath bombs, and our soaps all universally have the same scent. So we have 3 different scents year round, and one's more of a floral, and we call it Farm Girl. So Farm Girl is our floral scent. Our other one that's more of a manly, muskier scent is Before Sunrise. And then we have it's all of our farm names. We thought we were cute, Mr. Evans. We thought that we were cute. And then our Rancher's Relaxation is more of a citrus, fruitier kind of scent. And that is our most popular. The Rancher's Relaxation, people love it. And see, I'm not a big fan of the citrus, fruity kind of scents, but they're eating it up. Literally.
Yay, that's exciting. I'm thrilled. Yay.
Thank you.
Well, this has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation. I'm like so excited to support you however possible. For this pivot, whatever the next pivot is gonna be, I'm on board.
I'm gonna be pirouette and turning.
Yes,
Queen. 2022.
Well, thank you so much. And
thank you so much.
We will keep talking. But this episode, we gotta go.
Toodaloo.
Bye, everybody.